Hello, welcome to the last part of the terrain tutorial. So this video is going to be a short one because we're just going to simply export this and bring this into a game engine. So when we have a geometry and a rig with that, with kinefx, how do we export this? So there are multiple ways of doing this, but overall you're going to use the FBX Character Output node. So we're going to click it over here. And this has either a geometry, so our base geometry, it has our base rig, and you can also input an animation. So in this case, don't necessarily have an animation. You can build an animation if you want to. For example, with the rig pose, you will be able to grab, for example, the point and move this. Quick example of that, if I would here, if I right click and, for example, would say here motion effects and do, for example, a wave effect and press play, we should have like this shaky motion. We have like this shaky motion. Maybe make it loopable. So it's something like this. And not necessarily like an animator, but you can do some basic stuff like that. So you would plug that into the animation part when everything is plugged in. So again, you don't need like the third input. If you only need to output the measure and a rig, that's fine. This motion effects node is actually part of that wave function that we created. Then now going to the node itself, there is not much we actually need to fill in, only of course the location where we want to store this model. Once we have filled in a certain destination and naming, so I'm just going to train example .fbx, just click render to disk. In this case, if you need this animation in there, we might want to switch the range here to our timeline. So range from render from a range. So it's going to grab our timeline. That's important because by default it will get the clip info data, but if it's not there, because this is often if you, for example, do something with mocap or something, you will often have this. But since I basically created this almost from scratch, I don't think I've created that data. So once that is done, press save. So now I'm here in Unreal and I'm just going to import or drag and drop my file. So here, of course, in import options, we want to have that skeletal mesh. And we also want to import animation because I had some information stored. So that third input. So we want to import it as well. And the other things, I'm just going to leave it as it is. So we're going to click import and this might take a moment. So then we have our data imported. So if I click open my files here, so train, we have then this train here. So you can see that that is working. So we have the mesh. Let's check our animation. And this is also working. So again, like it's like a very basic animation that just moves this train up and down, nothing special. Then let's check our skeleton. We have these points, as you could see. We have, if we go to physics, we have those things like we are expecting. There might be some things you can go back and forward into the Nia store to tweak. If you're not happy with some elements, you can start to play around with that, tweak them until you're happy with that. So the base structure of making a procedural train, having a procedural or automatic rigging system and bringing that now into Unreal fully works. So that fully works and have been tested here. So the tool itself that we made is actually designed to just output an FBX file. It's not necessarily designed here to bring inside of Unreal yet, but it's designed to mainly output an FBX and import that here into Unreal, into Unity, into another software as well, of course, to have a more procedural approach to rigging and scanning and so on. So that was it for this video about exporting this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.